So every time, with the exception of the 2004, every time there's a recession, typically the other party does extremely well in the next election. So they will be doing the 2024 election national thing, and we're going by state by state. So what are we saying this as the precedent? So 1942, this was during the Great Depression. This was the map during the Great Depression. Okay, Herbert Hoover only won 59 electoral votes. I think the Republicans are not going to win in this style of land. The 1980 election, Ronald Reagan won 489 electoral votes, which he lost a couple of states, including West Virginia. And of course, at the 2008 recession, which was started by Bush. But this one, the country was a bit more polarized, and a lot of these states still voted red. But again, the recession is nowhere near as the recession was a small recession compared to the one we're having now and the one we're having in the 1970s and of course the Great Depression. Of course, there's other times like I could have gone over, but these are the three main recessions. But I don't think it's gonna be a much bigger one than this one already, because John McCain didn't do that bad compared to Hoover and the other guy who's still alive, Jimmy Carter. So we're gonna fill out this map. So all the safe states, basically every state that voted for Donald Trump in the 2020 election, you can basically say they're safe because every one of these states are not flipping. Okay, so all the states, all the areas that voted for Donald Trump, including Maine second, including Iowa and Ohio and Alaska. So these are the states that, no matter what, are going to vote red. And of course, because this is a disadvantage, which is the second time the Democrats had this disadvantage. The first time was during Jimmy Carter's, economic failures. We're going over the states that will vote Democrat: California, Hawaii. I think Hawaii will vote Democrat, and Nevada, not Nebraska, Vermont, Massachusetts, and Maryland, and DC. Those are the 85 guaranteed electoral votes that Democrats are gonna get. Washington State, because of how polarizing this country is right now, I think Washington and Oregon at a national level will stay Democrat. And this is it. No, this is if the economy gets worse. If the economy gets worse, Oregon will actually flip, and Washington will be in the lead to likely column. I have to fix this. So let's continue. So yeah, we're gonna fix this. I don't know why it's only on my tablet. This site does it on my phone. On my computer it doesn't do it. And yeah, Nebraska second. We have to go over that can of worms. But yeah, all the states that of course voted for Trump, all the states, every including Alaska, and the certified 100% Democrat vote. These are like the safe group. I think we're gonna exclude New York from this. But yeah, New York is a state that is not flipping. Okay. Yeah. And Biden is from Delaware. We can count that as safe as well. Biden is from Delaware. But yep, now let's continue. So Oregon and Washington. Okay, these two are very, very far left states. Oregon is farther right than Washington. I think it will tilt, because of course this is a red wave year. And the economy will continue to get worse as predicted. And I think it might even be like green. It might even be green now. And I think Washington State will be tilt Democrat because, people there, they're not going to listen. But the economy might make it a tilt margin. Yeah, this is basically based off the economy. Basically, because we're using the presidents based off the economy. Okay, the presidents based off the economy. Look at the 1980 election, look at the 1942 election. Both had extremely bad economies as well. Nevada, that's probably going to be likely Republican. You're going to have a Republican governor. You're going to have a Republican. And this recession's going to further solidify Nevada. Same thing of Arizona. A lot of Hispanics are angry at Biden. He has the lowest approval among Hispanics. Also, Arizona, Biden rating that might be a fluke because again, this might be like Indiana, kind of like Obama winning North Carolina in 2008. That was a fluke. I think Arizona will be like North Carolina, will vote leading the likely Republican for the foreseeable future with the Hispanic trends as well, and people moving, and Arizona is such a strange state. Colorado, I think Colorado might vote Republican by like a 1 point margin because of how badly the economy is doing in the country. And saying Nevada, I think New Mexico might actually vote to the right of Colorado. Yeah, that's funny. And it's mostly because I mentioned of Arizona. The Hispanic approval of Biden is only 28%, and this state is 48% Hispanic, which means Biden might not even win Hispanics in New Mexico, which means he won't win the state because he'll lose whites in the state, which is probably gonna be guaranteed, and he's gonna lose Hispanics in the state. He's gonna lose Hispanics in Colorado. I think Colorado might stay Democrat, but it might vote on a presidential level just because of how bad the economy is. So we could get to the Midwest. I think Illinois, Chicago will make the state stay in the blue column. But I think Minnesota's gonna flip the economy. I think this state's gonna vote because of the economy. I think Wisconsin at this point will be likely like Arizona. It's the state that is trending red, and because of the economic collapse, I think Wisconsin's gonna become a safe Republican state in this election cycle. Oh yeah, Nebraska second. I think that's gonna be being Republican because the Nebraska second is such strange and cursed. Okay, Michigan. Michigan is another state. It's a state that will probably suffer. The worst part's gonna suffer the most from the economic collapse. Okay, the Sun Belt won't really suffer, but they're still extremely Republican. I think Texas will be likely Republican. North Carolina will be likely Republican. Florida will probably be safe because of Ron DeSantis. But it is based off the economy. Okay, Georgia, I think I'll vote Republican one last time because the economy. Okay, it's the economy. Everyone is affected by the economy. People don't realize this. Okay, but the South is typically less affected, so I'll put it basically in the same margin as Oregon. Now it's up here. These are the last. Virginia, Youngkin is probably going to run for Senate. It's not going to, I think the state might actually flip on the presidential level because of, especially if Biden is running. If Biden is running, that's why I put it. This is if Biden is running. And it doesn't matter who the Republican is. It doesn't matter if it's Ron DeSantis or Trump. If it's Nikki Haley, this won't be happening because nobody likes, Nikki Haley is just unpopular, even among the own party. But it'll probably be a Biden or Kamala Harris as the pick. New Jersey, I think it's gonna be lean, just like the governor thing. New York, I forgot to put that safe. That's gonna probably be safe. Pennsylvania, likely Republican. New, very very anti-war, and Biden is very very pro-war, and New Hampshire hates incumbents, so it'll be lean. Michigan second will be probably likely Democrat. Michigan at large will likely be lean Republican. Now we have these two states. Connecticut, I think, will be likely, and Rhode Island, I think, will be lean Democrat. So it'll be kind of similar because of how polarized the country is. Very similar to the 2008 election. So the 2008 election, which we ended it on the 2008 election. This would be a very, very similar map, but it'll be because of course Democrats, they're not really going to lose that much here. But if Kamala Harris is winning, Delaware is flipping. This is if Kamala Harris is winning. New Jersey would probably flip as well. Michigan would probably stay likely. Minnesota would probably stay. These states will probably stay. And Washington will probably be tilt at this point. Because Kamala Harris is even more unpopular than Joe Biden. And these states will be even closer as well. So, Kamala Harris' approval rating is typically worse than Joe Biden's, which is, and Illinois will likely be close, which will be a pretty big warning sign for Democrats that are going to lose one of the biggest and most populated states. Texas, that's going to be safe. Arizona, that might be safe at this point. Georgia and Virginia will likely be likely. New Mexico, Because this is based off the unpopularity of Kamala Harris, who is like 4 to 5 points more unpopular than Biden, which means there'll be even bigger shift in these states. I think Pennsylvania and Michigan are being held by, of course, the urban cities. So probably for like 8 or 9 points Republican as well. And yep, that's basically about this video. Goodbye. Of course, this is not an accurate prediction. You can't really predict the future. I, of course, predicted the 2020 election and completely failed at predicting that. But yeah, this is basically just based off the economy, based off, 2008 election and previous economic collapses. If the economy gets even worse than predicted, then yeah, you can see states like Illinois flipping. You'll probably see an election map like this. If, of course, the economic collapse just gets so bad and unbearable for the average day person that literally almost every state in America votes the opposite way. Yeah, Biden would probably win his home state. And the Democrats only get a lot of electoral votes because they have, and they'll probably still win Illinois. Yeah, this would probably be the map, and they would probably still win these states down here, which means the Democrats would probably still get 160 electoral votes. They would probably still get 160 electoral votes. Of course, Republicans could flip, state like New Jersey or Rhode Island or, Connecticut to get to 400 electoral votes, or even flip Illinois, but Illinois is like a long shot victory for Republicans, even in an economic collapse, because Chicago is still Chicago. They're still gonna vote Democrat by like 50 points, despite all. They'll probably still vote by like 30 to 40 points, and if it's anything over 40 points, then Republicans are not gonna win with Illinois, because it's really just about turnout and percentage win in Chicago. Same thing of New York as well. I think New York will probably still be safe because New York City is more Democrat than Chicago. It is more Democrat than Chicago. Same thing with California. LA is it's even more Democrat than Chicago is. And yep, that's basically about this video. Goodbye.